Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you the outcome of me breaking the little pieces of plastic that connect the buttons in the back. So right here you can see that there's like a little groove, a little pathway for the plastic, and right there you can see that I did cut them off so that when you press this one it's not as hard and it won't accidentally trip this button when you press it. And then as well over here on this side, and also I think the D-pad had something like that. No, actually no, the D-pad it doesn't, but there's a way to make it a little bit softer so that it doesn't feel as stiff, and same as the other side. So I'm gonna show you what I did and the way that I pulled this out. So this is a way that I disassemble it. I took out the back cover of the battery, and then I'm gonna pull out the pin for the battery, because when you unscrew the Phillips screws, I always have a fear that I'm gonna rip something out, so I'd rather just take it off from here. And then real quick, if you don't have nails to pull it out, you can use a flathead screwdriver and kind of just pry it out. Alright guys, so I loosened the screws. I still have them there. I just pulled it out. Here's the part of the back buttons. And I'm not going to go any further. I'll be very honest. When I took this apart, so the next step once you do take it apart is you're going to want to unscrew the joysticks. So it's this, and then you're going to lift that little black tab, and then this is going to be able to come out, that little ribbon tab. Same thing with this, lift that, and then the ribbon tab will come out this way. And then just take this out. Remove the tape, just because well, at least for me, this part was kind of stuck to the plastic frame, so I wanted to take this off first, because when I pulled this out it was kind of getting stuck there. And the part that will help you with the buttons to be less stiff, so breaking that plastic piece over here is very important, right? So I'm not going to be going that far because I don't want to have to reassemble it. And I'll share the difficulties that I had. If you want to keep going further to disassemble it, you're going to need to take these two screws off. But the important thing is that you can actually pause here and you can just kind of loosen these up a little bit, these two screws. And then that way the motherboard won't be as close to the plastic frame itself. So it's going to give it a little bit more give in the buttons itself, and it won't be as close, so it won't feel as stiff. So you can just kind of, loosen it up, and you can kind of test it out. Mainly this one over here, just to see how it feels. And then, but if you do want to go further to break the little tabs on these buttons right here, because again, they're connected. So when you press one, there's going to be a little bit force because it's connected. And this one's not going down, so it's kind of interfere. So you want to unpin this ribbon tab here, and then, or remove the lock from the ribbon tab, and then be able to pull this out. And then once you do that, I found it best to kind of push the motherboard this way and then out, because I kind of found it hard to remove it. And then the most difficult thing is to kind of put it back together, because when you put it back together, it has to come in like this. And then these buttons, the power button right here and the volume rocker, they're not held in place. They're just there because of the motherboard is in its way. So when you're putting it back, you got to make sure that these don't kind of fall out of place. And now that I'm thinking of it, maybe putting tape here to hold this piece would have helped. So you can do that so that it's in place, and then you're going to kind of go like that, and then just make sure that the ribbon tab of the screen is able to go back into this field, so that you're able to connect it once it's all put back together. But yeah, I wanted to give a recap of how it went, because I think on my last video I shared that I would give an update, and that did help out. A little bit more about the emulator experience. It does feel obviously not as authentic as a real thing, this is like, you know, it's good to have so that you don't have to spend so much money on the originals. But at the end of the day, if you could get the original, that would be best. It just feels a little bit more authentic. This device, at least for me, it feels more like a little party trick. Like, hey, look, you know, I have all the games we used to play and this and that. I haven't really grabbed it too much to play, but that's maybe because just me, I don't have that much time to play this. But I do also have a DS, and I've played the DS a little bit more than this. But again, it's just, I think it's a little bit more of the authentic thing. Of having the actual real device, having the actual layout that you remember, that kind of goes in with the nostalgia, right? Having the original control feel, and all of that. So I'm putting back, you know, all the screws. It's very simple. And then I'm gonna pause it to put the battery back. All right, guys, so it's back together. Another thing that I saw was about the screen protector. Just make sure when you put it on, you know, before you remove the film, the plastic film that comes on the screen, just to prevent scratches through shipping, before you take that off, wipe down your device, make sure that there's no dust, make sure you go to a place in your room that has the least amount of dust. If you just made your bed, wait until the dust particles settle from the cotton and things like that. So, you know, clean all of that, wipe it down, wipe the actual screen protector before you remove the film as well. And then once all the dust settles, take off the screen real quick, like the screen protector, the plastic screen protector from the device, and flip it so that dust won't settle on it. And then at the same time, you know, with your other hand, take off the film and then flip it back, and then very carefully, you know, kind of position it and start laying it down from one side, or you could even be from a corner. And then when it starts adhering to the screen itself, you're going to kind of see that it turns darker, and make it go evenly, right? It's going to go like that and then close off. But don't put it down where it starts going from both sides, because then there's going to be bubbles in the middle or something. So just make sure it goes from one side to another, and then you're able to get it on. But again, this screen is kind of curved, and it's not really a curved screen, but it's just like the touch feeling of, you know, 1 or 2 millimeters that it's curved right there. So the screen itself is not able to lay flat through all the edges. Let me see if it turns on. Let me check it out. That's a reset button. Alright, so it's actually off because I need to charge it, but you get the point. And that's everything. Let me know if you have any questions.